What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning on the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is Shadowfaxx. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Loki. His name is Gaboo. It's competitive mega random, and yes, we have another Mediterranean style variant here, which honestly very surprising indeed. The amount of chance for a water map, and then there's all the different variations for water maps. This is a pretty low chance spawn, in all honesty, but a low chance spawn can happen many times. It's just how things work. But we do have Shadowfaxx. Shadowfaxx, if you aren't aware, one of the strongest vanilla players, vanilla being the original Age of Mythology out there, definitely can tango with anyone on that game. But when you come onto Titans, strategy changes a little bit, and everything comes very differently here in this game. So we'll see how these players are going to be matching up. Gaboo, on the other hand, he's known for his Loki. I've definitely seen him as high as 1900 on the leaderboard. That is top one kind of caliber. But he's definitely doesn't belong up there because he does drop all the way down to 1800 some of the time. But definitely an 1800 plus Loki players. Loki player can win games against literally anyone out there. And we'll see how he's going to go. Loki players in general do struggle a little bit on the water. I feel like the strategy is a little bit more complicated for Loki than every other civilization. But nonetheless, it's something that Loki players do have to work out how to navigate. And we'll see what Gaboo's going to come up with. Sometimes we see pretty crazy stuff come through for the Loki players where they decide to go all in on land. Sometimes we see Loki players trying to fight full on water. Sometimes you see the Loki players trying to do kind of like semi-fast heroics, flaming weapons timings, which can be really, really strong as well. But we'll see how it's all going to go. Shadowfaxx, on the other hand, he's going to probably go for a fairly strong water fight here, getting out early Jason, Odysseus, and putting pressure on land. That's the Zeus strategy for these water maps, and we'll see if that's exactly what he's going to be doing. Now, one thing to talk about Mediterranean, or not necessarily Mediterranean, but competitive mega random, is the small chance of a 2 fishing spawn variant. If we take a quick look at what the map looks like, there's plenty of fish, but it's all in these 2 spawn locations where we're normally used to 3 spawns or 1 spawn. There's going to be 2 here. So the players are going to have to be a little bit more wanting for that fish all over the place here, as it's going to be a little bit more difficult to defend just with a handful of boats, I guess. Or you can just spam more docks out. So Gaboo still doing his best. He's got himself 6 villages over here. He's got a lot of fishing ships. This is something that's a little bit wild to be seeing here in the early stages of this game, as the Ulfsark retreating back, going to be throwing down a second dock here. Does he have his temple? No, he doesn't. So he's going to be throwing the temple up first. As there he goes. Lots of villagers on here. Look, it actually kind of looks like Gaboo is going for a heavy fishing ship build order on a map like this. We'll see if it's going to work. As Shadowfaxx is going through Athena already, a little bit early, maybe a little bit early, maybe not completely early. We see him splitting up his wood villages, but normally we see like a 430 on this type of map. He goes for 415, or maybe a slightly delayed 415 or something like that. But we'll see how it's going to go, as 2 docks are now down, and Gaboo going to be advancing very, very shortly here. I'm sure through Forseti, I would assume, but Heimdall on a map like this isn't a bad idea. Getting access to that upgrade Arctic Winds can really help, but we are seeing Forseti indeed here as the dock is getting thrown down. We've got the Katoskopos coming through, going to be checking out what's happening in the base of Gaboo. And where are the units actually? He's got himself 5 dwarves on gold. He's got himself 6 villages over here, 12 villages over here, 12 villages on wood. Athena comes through for Shadowfaxx. The Ulfsark getting pulled back. You can Alt S this Skrelling though, as he's going to be doing that and trying to get that dock up as Shadowfaxx is getting himself out his trireme as fast as he can. We don't see that early Jason that we would normally see here as those trireme moving forward here. And Gaboo will indeed have his dock up, but he's going to be very, very late here to the second age. So these trireme are going to get a lot of advantage here. And Gaboo's fishing ships will have to be getting brought home into the docks to keep them alive, and we'll see how much fish he can actually gather here in this game, as Gaboo playing a very defensive and very boomy playstyle will maybe work for him. We'll see how it's going to go, as the fishing ships essentially all have to get stored away. Going to be plenty of fish in the bank for Gaboo for quite some time here to train villagers. He is making dwarves straight away though, which is going to be a little bit expensive. We do see those longboats popping out here. We'll probably see a bolt getting... Bit of a waste there from Shelty, not from Shelty, from Shadowfaxx there. Shelty and Shadowfaxx, both from England, both starting with S, so don't blame me too much here. Bit of a waste there, maybe a misclick from Shadowfaxx, utilizing his restoration straight away and a bolt, but he's got such a significant advantage now on the water with his trireme that maybe it doesn't really matter all too much. I would have thought that Gaboo advancing this late would have been popping those longboats into his dock instead of elsewhere, but no, he pops them out, and that gives Shadowfaxx a fairly significant advantage here, and that's life where that happens. And now Shadowfaxx is going to be going on to gold. The real way to continue right now is to stop trireme production and get a town center. And is that what we're seeing here from Shadowfaxx? He's getting himself his Jason. He's got plenty of... Well, you have to get yourself a couple of villages onto food maybe, but he's got plenty of advantage on the water right now. And Gaboo is stopping production actually, so he's going all onto food. He's got himself those boar over here. He's got himself the elk on this location, so he can go in and put some good pressure onto his opponent. I'd like to see him dropping these fishing ship out just a little bit here on the close locations to make that work, as we see the troll coming in to Shadowfaxx's base over here. We've got the Jason already out though, going to come over here, and Shadowfaxx just waiting a little bit on the food here to get himself this town center up. Not really making more fishing ship just yet though. A little bit of a mistake, and there we go with that town center. So playing the theory correctly here, as we get a question in chat. Did we see any hunting dogs? No hunting dogs just yet from Gaboo, which is definitely a mistake. It's one of those things that people forget about a little bit on the water. There it's coming in now, so hunting dogs is on the way, but it's one of those things that people forget about, because it's the technology you get first and foremost. You get hunting dogs when you start a map, but on a water map you don't. So sometimes it can just escape your mind that you should get it when you lose water and start hunting. As now Shadowfaxx moving on to this wood up here. He's gonna be getting this town center over here, which will also give him access to these elk. And now we see the Herser, and we see some attempted quick walling there from Shadowfaxx. Not going to be working all too well, as the villagers are going to be getting pulled back here. We see a little bit of shanking going on as we see the villagers getting picked off. Maybe going to get a myth unit spawn here as well. One of the unique abilities of Loki is that his Herser can spawn myth units. As we see the houses going to be getting targeted down, Gaboo going to be looking for every single bit of advantage that he possibly can. He's got himself 14 villagers on gold though, so he does need to think about going more onto the goats, more onto the hunt, something like that. As you do see a house going down here. Shadowfaxx on the other hand has himself his second town center, and we see him moving in with these trireme, trying to pick off those docks over here. Another villager over here has been spotted, going to be attempting to take that one down. Surely a myth unit will be coming through fairly shortly, but there's an Odysseus out as we see the sentry tower getting taken down, and we get a troll spawn. Not the best there for Gaboo, as we see the Herser moving up onto this location. They will spot this large gold mine coming up as the military academy is coming down here. Shadowfaxx needing to retreat away from here, as the Herser very scary looking at this point, as Gaboo's pulling back from there as well. We see the Minotaur getting spotted over here, will get taken down very, very quickly. Nice marker there from Gaboo, keeping his Herser alive there. And now we see Gaboo searching yet again for more picks, as Gaboo's got plenty of resources in the bank. He's got his armory up. He's no longer building units. He is looking for the heroic age here, ladies and gentlemen. This is really, really scary here for Shadowfaxx, He's got himself the fish. He hasn't really fished out his fishing ships. He's got himself 2 town centers. So this is looking awfully like a just standard situation. Greek player against what can be an incredibly tough timing attack that Gaboo is going to be putting onto me. The question is, does Gaboo go for Njord or does Gaboo go for Bragi? Bragi is the standard play here, and we are seeing that indeed. He's going to be going for a huge flaming weapons timing push. Tons of battle ball to boot. I'd love to see a temple on this forward location here and some walls over here for Gaboo. This is something that players are forgetting a lot on this map, is that there's gold mines over here. 1 wall, 2 walls, enough to put a stop to those gold mines from getting grabbed for a little bit here. As we see the Hersa attempting to break through here. Shadowfaxx with very few resources in the bank. No attempt at any armory upgrades here as these units pushing through here yet again, trying to take down the villager. The Odysseus going to be able to pick off a troll here as well, as the Hersa pushing through this location, going to be moving up to the top. And we see Shadowfaxx desperately trying to defend over here, but he's not going to be aware that Bragi is so quick here for Gaboo, and Gaboo spamming units out as best as he can. He's going to be hitting his 115 population very, very quickly as well, as we do also have the temple on the front. So that's battle ball that Shadowfaxx is going to have to deal with. Shadowfaxx has got to feel like he's in a decent position here, but in reality, he's just got so much population on water, and the flaming weapons is going to be a huge economic boost, funnily enough, for Gaboo as well, because he gets all of those free myth unit spawns as the units are going to be pushing through. We see no battle ball coming out of this location. We did see the temple getting deleted there, so the battle ball comes in fast enough. We will probably be seeing flaming weapons getting dropped down here pretty quickly, as the Jason going to be targeting down the battle ball. We see the Hersa coming in to take that Jason down as fast as possible. Still no battle ball coming out of this temple just yet. A Valkyrie spawn coming through there for Gaboo as the unit's getting taken down. The town center is going to drop incredibly quickly here as archery rangers are getting thrown down for Shadowfaxx. The Toxotes coming in trying to take down some of those throwing axemen as well, but the Hersa are in here to deal with those. Shadowfaxx trying to micro the best of his ability, gets himself adjacent out as well to deal with this lone battle ball that is here, but it's going to be immediately targeted down as the Hersa will indeed take this down. But now we see a raid coming through for Shadowfaxx. He finds the dwarves. This is absolutely huge here. Gaboo going to be retreating away. The villagers retreating away here as well, but does Gaboo care? Gaboo's at full population here. He's got plenty of gold in the bank. He can make those battle ball out of here if he so chooses. And these villagers are going to be sneaking forward as well to a separate location. The dwarves can make their way up onto this large gold mine as well. Plenty of gold in the bank here for Gaboo, as now we see the Hersa making their way forward onto this location. Shadowfaxx with a very, very nice 300-esque defensive position here with those Toxotes, but the Hersa are going to start attacking. We might see flaming weapons get dropped here. It will be very, very smart to utilize that, get some myth unit spawns here as well, but he's going to be holding onto it for the time being. Shadowfaxx pulling his villagers, going to start shanking. Still no flaming weapons, but maybe it doesn't matter as the army chasing these dwarves around the map here. No myth unit spawns just yet for the Hersa as Gaboo and finally gets one. He's at 112 population at this point. Maybe a whole bunch of myth units will start spawning here as another one comes and gets the Iron here as the Toxotes getting taken out. Shadowfaxx desperately trying to hold on here as the hoplites going down very, very fast. Shadowfaxx trying to retreat his dwarves away from this location. The villagers happily on this spot here as the hoplites going after the main town center, but there's watchtowers up and those hoplites have to get out of here right now. Still holding on to flaming weapons. Gaboo is making this look easy. One of the few. This is Mediterranean, basically, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a Loki player destroying one of the strongest Zeus players to play the game currently on Mediterranean. Gaboo showing how it's done in the modern era as flaming weapons finally deciding to get clicked here. Gaboo still not making battle ball out of his temple, just going pure units here. As where have those dwarves come? They come back onto this gold mine. 15 dwarves over there. The units pushing through the gold. The wood villagers getting brought back off of this location. Shadowfaxx going to attempt to come over onto this gold mine, sending his villagers over there. We do see the watchtowers coming through. We got ourselves a frost giant as well, as Shadowfaxx just does not have what it takes to defend what's coming his way, as more and more units piling in. 80 population for Shadowfaxx to Gaboo, who's got himself 110 population, and now we've got those those fishing ship popping back out over here. There is a longboat in on this location as well, as we see Gaboo pushing forward to take those out. We see the Frost Giant going after the main town center. The Hersa deal with the Toxote as well. The Jason here going to attempt to get taken out, but does get pulled back into the town center, getting dropped around the back. We see good micro here from Shadowfaxx to try and make sure he gets the most value out of said Jason, but 68 population. Odysseus getting created. Jason comes through, 41 HP remaining there. Going to immediately be targeted down by the throwing axeman there. Does garrison in time, but just a little bit of HP remaining. We see the troll getting taken out as the villagers popping through here. More units coming through for Gaboo. Gaboo's still now finally starting to make himself some battle ball, which are going to be very, very scary here for Shadowfaxx. The Shadowfaxx trying to use his villagers to fight back over here. Shadowfaxx is targeting down some of those fishing ships that Gaboo has been making, but I think Gaboo is going to be perfectly happy about his position. He does have to retreat. I'd love to see some buildings coming forward over here. This gold mine is now currently being grabbed here for Shadowfaxx, as Shadowfaxx potentially has some chance to come back, but Shadowfaxx is losing so many villagers in this game. The military academy here going to be getting torn down as well, as Gaboo pushing forward here, and Shadowfaxx doesn't have a pass switch. He just has to make those hoplites. No upgrades in the hoplites. This is essentially heavy infantry in terms of the Hersa versus unupgraded infantry for Shadowfaxx. So such a big advantage now, as the Mountain Giant can start making its way into the town center. Goes battle ball with the 20 crush armor, crush damage as well. Can kill off that town center incredibly fast, leaving Shadowfaxx at 0 town centers here, as the Odysseus gets pulled back, and Shadowfaxx in that moment does decide to tap out. GG, well played by Gaboo, managing to take down the tyrant that is Zeus with Loki on a Mediterranean-esque map. What an incredible strategy here from Gaboo. Baits the water in. I mean, Shadowfaxx did waste his restoration a little bit here. Probably shouldn't have used it. Was trying to bolt one of those longboats, but he just builds like 2 longboats on the water and says, yep, that's enough. That baits out 10, 15 trireme from Shadowfaxx, and then Gaboo gets the damage done on the land, gets his way to the heroic age in a timely fashion. Huge timing push onto the second town center from Shadowfaxx, and then just GG from there. Incredibly well played by Gaboo. Shadowfaxx, it's down to his, he's going to have to win this next game essentially. So we'll see how it's going to go. Gaboo just needs one more win to get a win, to get the full win against Shadowfaxx in this best of 3. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.